All right, good afternoon, guys, or good evening. It's almost 5 o'clock. And I wanted to come and talk about something. Um, I saw a cute, fun video that was made by one of my favorite TikTokers. Um, and I wanted to come and talk to you guys. First of all, let's talk about zodiac signs. Okay. Um, Zodiac signs, when you are finding out about people, when you are dealing with people, and this is what separates the real people persons from people who don't know about people, right? So, a lot of people really, really love to judge people by their sun signs with and they'll add these expectations to it, right? Okay. um for example, I am a Cancer sun, right? Cancers have been listed among the most powerful next to Leo of the zodiac signs. However, since BDSM has reared its ugly head, there has been this desire to judge people based upon whether or not they are fire or water or air or earth. And the cancers kind of have been listed amongst, when, because I don't practice BDSM myself at all. And if you try to force me to, I'm going to do something really bad to you. I am a witch. Don't even play those games with me. I will never submit to anybody ever or anything ever. I know how to be respectful. I know how to be kind, but I submit to somebody, never. Okay. And I'm a Cancer sun. So, cancers, we either get put in the BDSM world, which I don't like BDSM. I don't dislike people who practice BDSM, not all of them. Okay. As long as they don't bring that mess to me. But, you know, I just don't do it myself. But what I'm noticing, what I'm noticing is that there is a desire for people to place cancers either in a submissive category or as a switch, which a switch can mean a person that can switch between dominant and submissive. See, I'm not in any of those categories. I don't play those games with people. I'm going to say this straight up and down because I've noticed with parasocial situations, people are crazy. People are mentally ill. So, what people like to do is they like to play around with other people for some reason. And if a person tells you, hey, I don't want to play with you, that means they're not playing with you. That means game over. I choose not to play with you because you haven't respected my boundaries and you're mentally ill. Okay. So there's many people that love to continue to play, and see people that are into BDSM, especially dominance, or people that want to be dominant, they love the chase. And see, the reason why I hate BDSM is because there are some people that lack self-control, and there has been quite a few news articles, right? It's been in the news quite a bit, especially the past couple of months, of people taking their fantasies way too far. Meaning that, like, there have been people that have been in BDSM relationships, and the dominant kills the submissive. This has been happening in real life. So, this actually was something that I recognized back in like 2016. And I just don't play those games. I don't even play with people like that. And it's a lot of people, you can see that clearly. They have lost touch with reality, and they are trying to portray themselves in one way. And that leads to them having to portray other people in other ways. Okay, like for example, if I played around in the bedroom as a submissive, and you think that that's the way it's going to be in real life, I will whoop your ass. I will literally whoop your ass in every single stretch of the imagination. I will drag your soul to hell. Really, I'll drag you to hell. And I don't have to come on here and make a YouTube video. I don't have to make a social media video. Okay. When a person tells you their boundaries, people need to respect it. And it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, that is where God lays right there, is within those boundaries. Okay. However, so now that I'm done with that soapbox, I want people to start focusing on people's rising, ascending sign. That's where you know a true person, is their ascending sign. I feel like the ascending rising sign, which is the house of Mars. It's funny how it's like that because Mars is the first house, and that's where you get your ascending sign from, right? Is the house of Mars. So the house of Mars is the house of war. It is the house of pain. It is the house of order. It is the house of boundaries, along with Saturn. Many people fear the planet Saturn, but Saturn is basically pretty much a planet of boundaries as well, just like Mars. Very well, it's similar but not the same. So a person's ascending sign is connected to Mars, right? So when it comes to me, High Priestess Jamila, my ascending sign is a Leo. Sorry about that, guys. So when you look at, because I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of Cancer suns with an ascending Leo, right? So that don't make me special. But what it can tell you is that you are dealing with a person who, like when it comes to adversaries, I don't really have to do much to my adversaries. In fact, adversarial energy prior to me even practicing witchcraft was more devastating by itself. The fact that I practice makes it a lot more tame, right? Meaning that I think about things and I take accountability as far as what could really happen to an adversarial person if I don't witch. Because when you look at the true definition of witch is the relief from the chaos and healing and all of that. That's what it is. Although we have to at times bring about chaos and suffering to others, which is actually the relief from that chaos. When you look at the original woman, Lilith, her essence and her energy is relief from the chaos and the pain and the suffering in paradise. Lilith's energy is factually paradise for her followers, for the people that love her, for the people that really understand Lilith. Yeah, to the adversarial energy, Lilith will go ham and she will do very destructive things to people. But other than that, when it comes to Lilith, her energy brings about peace, especially to women who are dealing with the chaos of man. Okay. Now, when you look at the Leo rising with the Cancer sun, okay, you're gonna find a person that once they develop themselves, unless they're going through some kind of spiritual or mental illness, this person is very balanced and very fair. They are not either submissive or dominant. Rather, they are more so connected with the nature and the natural flow of things. Those two things together create a space of warmth and safety for themselves and the people that they love, because Leos love people very hard. Leos can sometimes love people so hard that they can carry on a dominant perspective with those people. However, when you blend that with a Cancer sun, you're going to find a perfect balance. You have to know a whole person. And especially when it comes to getting into wars with people. One thing about me is that I don't create wars with people. But I think that people that assume that other people are vulnerable need to take heed. First of all, you shouldn't be running around here in this world trying to trespass on others. You should not be doing that. If you're a person that's doing that, then this is going to be the source of all of your problems, and you're going to always have a lot of problems. You're going to always have a lot of complaints. You're going to always have a lot of issues. Okay. You're not going to be a person that is going to be liked nor accepted. And more than likely, you're going to suffer from a lot of failure, especially if you out here trying to contend with people or dealing with the public. You're going to be a failure in when dealing with people all the time, when you don't know that, when you don't understand boundaries, when you think that it is okay to attack people based upon anything, right? Right. So people really need to start looking at people's rising sign. What I've noticed is that a lot of people's ascending sign, that first house in Mars, is what you really want to know about a person. And it's not to say that any zodiac sign, because I don't look at, when unless I'm dealing with an adversarial energy, I'm not going to look at a person's chart and look at people's charts to find weaknesses in that person. I'm not going to do that. Now, I am going to be doing some readings coming up for you guys, and it's for my collective. It'll be on TikTok, because a lot of my peeps are on TikTok. They left YouTube. They don't feel comfortable with being on YouTube, and that's sad. That's sad that they have created it stinks on YouTube. YouTube smells like poop. YouTube smells like dung. So a lot of my peeps, they go to TikTok and watch me. Um, so I'll be putting up some videos to help people out. Just letting you know what your adversary's weaknesses are. And I think that their strengths and their weaknesses. Okay. I think that that's going to be extremely helpful for people. But people need, first of all, people need to just stop attacking people. It shows that you have a disease of the mind and a disease of the spirit. And you're really diseased when you attack people and you expect people to not defend themselves. And see, this is why I was saying BDSM, it playing around with that is like, it's a no-no. It really is. And that's exactly what we have a lot of people that have gotten in their heads, just the way they talk. They call each other masters. They speak very down to people. And these types of people have a lot of suffering coming to them. The person tells you, I do not consent to that. uh no, I am not your submissive. No, I'm not into that. uh get out of my face. I don't like you. Stop contacting me. I'm getting ready to go and pay a witch to curse you. Jesus is not going to protect you. When people say things like that to you, you need to understand and listen to those people and stop trying to dominate people, because that's not cool. It's not. It's disgusting. And I've seen people do that. I've seen women do that to straight women. It's very creepy, crawly when you have a woman that is, okay, maybe a lesbian woman would get off on that type of energy. Maybe not all of them. They're gonna be like, what the hell's wrong with you, mostly. But even a person that is submissive doesn't have to submit to everybody. That's just not something. And I feel that there's a lot of people that have a lot of mental illness of greed, and they just want everybody to be it. And it's never going, you're never going to be able to create a reality like that. And in reality, what's going to end up happening is that you're going to hurt yourself doing that. Okay, you're going to hurt yourself doing that. So a lot of people really, first of all, you should really, really stop trying to impede on others. Okay, get it together. Stop thinking that you have anything over on somebody based upon anything. This is a huge whole problem that we're having in this society right now, is people doing just that. Okay. So you need to research people, and you need to also understand that there are people that do have protective spirits. There is nobody out here that is given this stick or this staff to just go out and just do whatever they want to do. Eventually those people, they're confused, and I've seen people stay wrapped up in that psychosis for years. For years, especially when you're a person that's saying, hey, I'm not allowing you to walk away from me. You're not doing what? You're not allowing me to walk away from you. Oh, I'm going to sit back and just wait to hear the news that you died, because you're like the walking dead. Everybody that is trying to deny people of walking away from them have nothing but death coming to them. That's a fact. These people are factually marked for death every single day. They are at risk of death. Death is going to come for them any moment. I've said that. People can get mad at me and say, oh, she's so mean, she cursing people. No, I'm just informing you. I'm just giving you a reading. If you are putting yourself in a position where you are telling anybody, I don't give a damn if you're a man saying that to a woman, or a woman saying that to a man, and a person really, really, really has a strong desire to get away from you and to never look back at you, you have got to understand that if you are trying to force any type of association with anybody, that you are at risk of death anytime. Like literally, it can take you anytime when you least expect it. And I think that ties into that whole rapture thing. You know what I'm saying? Because people will do stuff and they will do stuff and they will do stuff and they will do stuff. Because keep in mind that Christianity got all of their concepts from the witches. Okay. So the whole concept of the rapture is this. You keep thinking that you gonna get away because people will wake up in the morning and they'll say, "Oh, I made it another day. Thank you, God, for," and you know what? You ain't gonna be so lucky. You do not have the right to be trying to stop people from walking away from you. I think that that is probably the worst sin that you can commit. I don't believe that, being sacrilegious, or saying the Lord's name in vain is the worst sin that you can do. I don't believe in that. I believe that when you do that, these people that are trying to trap people, keep people, all of that stuff, like a trapper keeper, right? Okay. You trying to hold on to somebody, whether or not it's their energy, whether or not it's their name, you won't let them go, especially these men that don't want to let people go if they're abusive. If a man is abusive, you have to let go. You are literally labeled as the walking dead, and you know that deep in your heart, trying to, and see, this is the whole thing about it. You can't project that to nobody. That is the way the universe works. You're going to end up dead. These types of people that I'm talking about. And I understand that there are all sorts of people that tell you, well, you know what? I can make it so to where, oh goodness, and right out here in the spiritual community, we have spiritualists, in particular male spiritualists, that are offering curses to men to curse their ex that walked away from them for good reason, curse the ex so that she is forced to be with him. Anybody doing something like that is already dead, straight up and down. Like I've seen people do it, and I understand that women can be that way too. Women can do stuff like that too. I don't want him to leave me, or I don't want her to leave me. Put a curse on this person. I want you to conjure all this and that. I wouldn't be involved with that. See, I don't do nothing that involves love or sex. I don't do anything that involves love or sex that forces anybody to do anything. And I for damn sure am not going to think that I am safe and delude myself into thinking I am safe based upon is it Leviticus, the day of atonement, thinking that you can just scapegoat all that bad karma on somebody else. As long as Azazel is running around this earth, literally omnipresent, I would never play those games with myself. Now, if you truly love somebody and you've got a situation going on with them, that's a difference. But the moment you are forcing somebody to do anything, and then you think, well, I'm going to do this black magic and I'm going to do this. And you know what? I'll just scapegoat and all those people are going to die. All these people that I'm trying to force to do what I want them to do, they're going to all die. And I don't really believe in karma. You're the deadest dead person dead. You're already dead. At any moment, death will come for you. Death will take you at any moment. It's just, it's reality. Okay. I understand there's a lot of people that are very spiritually and mentally sick, and then they're also sadistic. They don't care about what they do to others, and they want things to be their way. They're like, listen, I want to be able to beat on somebody. I want to be able to grape my girlfriend's daughter and get away with it. I want to be able to do this. I want to be able to do that. I want to be able to do it whatever I want, and I'm gonna go to voodoo and magic. And then at the end of the day, on Sunday, I'm gonna go to Jesus and say, hey, let's do a ritual so that all of this negative karma can not only go to somebody else. I'm going to have a scapegoat. I'm going to have a sacrifice, and I'm going to plead the blood of Jesus on the cross with a cross candle and a cross and a burning bush or something else and the tree of death. And I'm going to not only attack innocent people, but then again, I'm also going to scapegoat on the people that I am obviously trying to keep in my life, but well, I'm trying to hide it, but I'm gonna escape. And all those people are gonna die if they don't do what I say right now. And that's just the end of it. And that's not how it works. First of all, every man on this earth had to be begotten by a woman. You didn't come out of a man's ass. Okay. So whenever you get through, you ain't gonna never have no power like that. Right. And then also when it comes to Azazel, do y'all know the story of Azazel? The demon, the daemon, Azazel. Azazel is basically the scapegoat. So Azazel assists people who are being scapegoated upon. He is very powerful. He's an angel with black wings. That's how he always manifests to people. Because what he does is he protects people from injustices of people doing things like that, which typically has roots in either love or sex, because that is a huge struggle for humanity. Is love and sex. So anybody, any man, any woman, any witch can call upon Azazel and just pretty much deconstruct all that whole thing that you got going on, where you're insisting upon yourself. You won't leave people alone, because it is quite popular for a lot of these crazy psychopathic men to go to practitioners and get them to do these bindings and do all these attacks on women. And when you're dealing with a woman that has an intuition that can see all that stuff, she's not just sitting up there saying, "Well, I just was having a bad day." Oh my God. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. Oh my God. And this is my punishment for being a woman. No, like there's not even half of the population of women think that way. Not even by half. This is the reason why 60 to 70% of marriages end in divorce when men act like that. So just FYI, Azazel is going to be very active for the next year or so, because basically when it comes to that, it's not all about having powers that come from the Bible, but this is where you can either get one person or a group of people that will set an intention, and that is disgusting for you to do the things that you're doing, and then you're just going to go to the Bible and say, "Well, I need some scapegoats, somebody to sacrifice for my sin." See, this is where, and y'all don't want people to know that. I understand that they don't want people to know how powerful Azazel is. So when you start seeing witches chanting K Nofrom Le Vi Galanos Ha Tyran Shekasna. When you start seeing women and witches saying that, that's when you need to be like, "Oh shit, let me go ahead and," because Azazel is an angel of death. And from what I heard, all he needs sometime is a promise of an offering, because he's very upset about people setting an intention to mess up royally and then try to scapegoat on others. And Azazel, you know what people think, consider the source when you listen. There have been little newborn babies that have been sacrificed for people's sins. There have been so many humans, you know what I'm saying? The pagans, they participated sometimes in human sacrifice, but it just depends on but mainly animal sacrifice. But when it comes to human sacrifice, right? You know, and you see that there have been newborn babies that have been sacrificed for people and their sins because people can't stop fucking up. People just can't get it right. They can't get themselves together. They can't show respect for others, but yet they always demanding respect because they think that respect doesn't go both ways. See, the most of the world don't like people like that. Nobody really likes you. You're gonna always be limited to. I'm not limited at all. I know that people like to. It's a fantasy of theirs. They like to believe that I'm limited, but actually, I'm in very good company because probably 80% of this world agrees with what I'm saying. They don't agree with you. They don't agree that you can just do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't. If they were put in that position, they would tell you if you ever tried to put people in that position, right? So, you know, and it doesn't matter if it's a man or if it's a woman or if they black or if they white, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and it just is what it is. One other thing though, I'm gonna conclude that discussion because I've said all that I have to say. Hold on, y'all. When it comes to a lot of the things that are gonna happen, especially as we draw closer, doing a YouTube video and cussing somebody out and crying about it and calling them ugly and calling them a bitch or a hoe is not going to change what's getting ready to happen to you. Okay. I'm going to conclude that discussion by saying that. What I wanted to talk to you guys about though is be careful doing messy magic. Be careful with that, okay? Now we already know that that's a terrible combination. Messy practitioners. You have to have protection from that. And that's something that my spirits just now, my spirits are like, yeah, it's getting ready to get real bad. Let's go ahead and just do just some general overall protection from any and all messy magic. Okay. And what is messy magic? Messy magic is when a person cannot focus their mind when they're doing magic. And this includes any kind of Bible magic or mysticism as well. And they can't focus. They can't focus. This is what's going to get people in a lot of big trouble. You're doing a return to sender, but yet you're thinking about your mama, your ex-boyfriend who ain't called you in 10 fucking years. You thinking about your dog. You thinking about your cat. You thinking about your you know, some bitch down the street that don't matter. And you're doing this while you're focusing on sending negative energy back to an evildoer. Now tell me what results is that going to produce? What results is it going to produce if you have an enemy? Let's say it's a sick stalker and this motherfucker just can't stop attacking you and trying to use you as a scapegoat, because I see that happening in the witchy community too. Just, oh, I want to send everything to this person and da da da. I want to, oh, and I can't stand this person. I want. So you dealing with that person, but yet you thinking about everybody else while you're in ritual. What do you think results that's gonna produce? Now, I will say, if that person has sent negativity to another person close to you, that you will have to think about the person close to you, but you're supposed to be doing specific things. You're supposed to be pulling that energy out of that person that was innocent, that innocent person that was attacked, to gather up that energy, yes, to send it back. But when you're doing the return to sender, you have got to make sure that your mind, with exact precision, is focused on doing that RTS. If it is not, then you have to fix it. If you're focused on sending that energy, okay, Hopefully everybody knows what to do with bad spirits. But if you're focusing on sending that energy, that situation, that karma, that reality back to the person that you're sending it back to, and then all of a sudden, you start thinking about something else, you have to stop what you're doing and go, wait a minute, let me focus. Because a part of curses that are being sent to you is chaos, and they think of everything. So they want to make your mind all jumbled. So you have to stop and correct it. You can't just continue on. And see, we're dealing with a lot of messy people, very emotional. And then the next thing you know, shit is happening to innocent people. Okay. Either people that practice or people that don't. And a lot of people that don't practice, shit be automatically coming through for them. Something is watching their backbone. That's why your work is backfiring on you. That's gonna lead to backfiring. Okay. That's gonna lead to horrific results. It's not gonna be a good result that you want. It's not. It's gonna be a bad result. You're gonna be attacking an innocent person, possibly even someone close to you, because your mind is all jumbled and you don't know what the hell you're doing, which is why, it's not advisable for most people to try to practice witchcraft. A lot of people do not need to be practicing witchcraft, especially psychotic, obsessive people. Psychotic and obsessive people need to put the candles and the oils down. You are a problem and you are problematic. And so the downloads that I got recently from Spirit is to go ahead and protect everybody. This includes my clients from people and their messy ass magic. Okay. Now I don't even have to tell you or warn you to not be practicing witchcraft while trying to use Leviticus. That's a big mistake. I've been warning the spiritual community about doing things like that because this is where, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I'm right and you're wrong. Everything that you knew or you thought you knew was wrong, because I have sat here literally and I've been in meditation, and I'll see somebody doing a ritual on one of their enemies. And I may have gotten into it with that person, and that person focusing on me. My spirits are gonna crush you and stomp you like a fucking roach if you doing that. I don't have nothing to do with that situation. Don't pull me into your situation with your adversaries. I don't have anything to do with it. I am considered amongst my coven, who is only with me in spirit at this point, as the neutralizer. See, I neutralize things. I'm very neutral. Okay. That's why it's stupid to sit up here and try to act like your obsession with people is some kind of superpower. This is going to continuously bite you in the butt. You can front and say, oh, my life is all gravy and da 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 da. But we can see you. We can see you. We can see that it's not all gravy. It's not. It's that you suffering every damn day. Nobody should have to get up and ground themselves and do all that every damn day. That's what leads to burnout. Then another thing, it doesn't matter if somebody beat you up or raped you or something. As a practitioner, when you're doing some kind of return to sender work to somebody, you can't think about those people. You have to stay focused. Okay. I'm not gonna go that far. I think that grapists, I think that they do have, in some cases, but somebody that'll grape somebody, that person is pretty much deemed as no good unless they've been given some kind of leniency by spirit for them to move on with their life. Otherwise, if you're a grapist, you're pretty much screwed. You know what I'm saying? Scrooge McGrooge. You just and the only thing that a rapist or a murderer, somebody that's murdered an innocent person, can do about that is to do a lot of good deeds. That's the only thing you can do. If you're in a position where you are a bad person or a predator, a part of because a lot of people be like, I repent in the name of Jesus, in the name of the Lord, and then they go right back out and do the same damn dumb shit. Now, repentance, also includes doing good deeds and continuing it and never going back on that. You can't just say, well, I'm going to do a good deed, but then by next week, if it suits me, I'm going to attack somebody. That's not the way that it works. See what I'm saying? Like that. See, you can't talk good sense to people that don't want to hear the truth. You can't do it. That's why a lot of people need to stop trying to practice witchcraft. Put them damn candles that what are you doing? Put them damn candles down. Because once someone has recognized that you're doing messy magic, they can then do something to defend themselves. Because people get tired of that shit. People get tired of it. Hold on, real quick. Yeah, people get tired of that. People get tired of, in the last 10 years, y'all know when witchcraft and practicing magic got more popular. Y'all remember when that happened? When it was some kind of revolution and everybody said, "Well, I'm taking my power back." And a lot of those people were stupid because they didn't know how to ground themselves and get themselves together. So they just practicing witchcraft and creating all these calamities, you know what I'm saying, in the world, creating calamities. And see, that's one of the reasons why we're even having this discussion. Now, if you're a person that's doing those things purposely, you're going to eventually have to face your music. I know that there's a lot of people that want to play God. I know. I know. I know. I'm aware of that. They want to act like they are the source of all. This is when this is when we're dealing with some kind of mental illness. Like you're mentally ill, aren't you? Very, very. You are. Okay. So, and it doesn't matter like what you do if you're not justified in what you're doing, you're gonna stay in that position where you're at. And then also, if your mind is jumbled and chaotic, and you thinking about this and thinking about that during your ritual, and you cannot stay focused on what you're doing, then what you're going to do is you're going to send that energy out. It's going to ping pong right back to you, and you're going to continuously stay stuck in that energy. It doesn't matter what you come to social media to say or front. There are a lot of people that keep up a united front, and a lot of those people will go and they will try to practice witchcraft. And what do they end up doing? They end up saying, I'm going back to Jesus because I couldn't do it. Well, see, that is because you could not focus. And then also you probably ended up getting possessed or something by something. And you didn't really have a strong foundation or anybody that could tell you exactly how to cleanse yourself. Okay. And so we have a lot of that going on, and we have a lot of people that are mad and angry. Witchcraft within itself is not innately evil. It's just the people that practice it don't know what they doing. And so that's why they end up saying, well, I'm going back to Jesus. And then all of a sudden, everybody in the whole world is supposed to be in a satanic panic all of a sudden. When in reality, all of us are practicing witchcraft. All of us, nobody is just sitting there doing nothing. Everybody has some kind of method of their creativity, even if it's not writing a petition. And since when has writing a petition or writing down something that you wanted to manifest, is writing is can be very powerful. Since when is that evil? That's not evil. That makes no sense for people to claim that it's evil. Everybody on some level has to do some kind of, whether or not it's something that doesn't look like witchcraft or it is. Everybody at some point has to do something to manifest things for themselves and their family. There is nobody in this world that is just slated to sit there and decay and die for nobody. So nobody in this world can just expect somebody to go, well, I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. I'm just going to sit here and just do absolutely nothing, take no action to do anything because these people over here said that I was unworthy to live because they're predatorily preying on me. There's nobody that's going to do that unless they've reached the point of mental illness and they've given up. And I can promise you that most people are not going to do that. In fact, it is a fact that when a person is under attack, you're fueling their fire. However, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. After a while, when a person says, "Hey, this is enough of this," you go your way, I go mine. And that's the end of it. Once a person has said, "Hey, it, did this, they have the right to walk away from you." And witchcraft doesn't give anybody the right to hold somebody to somebody, does it? So it just is what it is. But y'all really need to focus on that. And I've seen people get into trouble. Like, it's weird because I'll see people, I'll even have clients or students, and they'll be doing, certain things, and I'll ask them, I'll make sure that they're doing the right things, and they seem to not understand that. Like I had this one girl come to me last year. She said that, it was the funniest thing. I was doing a return to sender, and then all of a sudden a bunch of stuff started happening. And it's like, because it's something that you're not doing right. And then also there's a reason for the Akashic records as well as the readings. There's a reason for that. Have you read your doorways? Nope. Why not? Because you know that as soon as you open the door, everything waiting at the doorway started coming in. Were you actually focused on, were you able to keep your focus? Because if you were not able to keep your focus while you were doing that, then that is going to be the results of your ritual if you were not able to keep your focus. Well, no, I didn't really do none of that. I was emotional that day and I was scared. No. This is the reason why it's made things worse. A lot of y'all went back to the church and you still don't have nothing good going on. So, a lot of people need to, and from what I've seen, especially in the black spiritual community, a lot of black people have been purely and solely focused on some kind of drama. That's why I'm not a part of any spiritual community. I want my own. And you have to be very special to be a part of my spiritual community. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in being focused on, the chaotic drama, trauma. No. No. I wouldn't be interested in that anyway on any day. But that it's causing a lot of messy magic. So to everybody that's in my Sam Hain group, that's one of the things that we're going to be working on, and that we're working on right now, is protection and covering and a shield from all these people that are out here doing messy stuff. And we saw it manifest just now. I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example. I'm gonna give y'all a perfect example. This whole situation that just arose with Charlie Kirk. Even though it was not a black person that murdered Charlie Kirk, black people ended up being drug into it. Y'all notice that? Why is that? Why is that? Why is it that black people, just as a whole person, is being drug into a beef over the death of a man that we have nothing to do with? We didn't shoot that man, but it wasn't a black person, it was a white person anyway. That's an example of it. Or whenever, there's some kind of black on black type of situation, black people are trying to bring white people into it. Well, there ain't no white person that had nothing to do with that. Yeah, they did. They did this to us. No, they didn't. What are you trying to say? That a white person did a spell on you, a magical spell, and it actually affected you to the point where you killed somebody? Well, hell, the black community needs to throw your ass out any damn way for being so weak minded. That don't make no sense. And witches could have been done lowered the damn food prices. Everybody complaining about gas prices and food prices. The witches could have easily got that lowered, but y'all dogged us out and threw us under the damn bus. Y'all told us we was some evil bitches and that we was doing something wrong. We could have been done handled that situation. I ain't gonna say nothing else about that, but I'm just sitting up here looking at people like, what the hell is wrong with these people? And that's when the divine goddess, who is a witch too, she's just like, nah, just let them carry on and just be stupid. We just gonna let stupid sit where stupid is supposed to be. Really, what we got in this world is a bunch of messy ass people, and all they do is complain about not being able to hurt other people. Oh, I'm here to complain and play victim. Oh, I didn't do that to you. You did that to me. That's what we dealing with. We dealing with the land of the crazies. And it's only a few select people amongst the whole damn world globally that is aware. And you know what? I want to stay aware. I don't want to go into oblivion and be like a goddamn zombie with everybody else. No, thank you. And I won't let my people do that either. No, because a lot of people in this world are tripping and half crazy. I ain't about to let no damn possessed ass person take me down a zombie shit. Y'all are considered to me to be zombies. Every person that has attacked me in the past year or so or longer, you're just simply a zombie. That's it. And you don't know what the hell to do except for act cray cray, confused. That's what a zombie is. A zombie is confused and out of their mind all the time. They don't have nothing to say useful. They don't have no kind of sense of sensibility, actually, even when they trying to make sense. Anyway, I want a lot of my witches to prepare for this Sam Hain coming up because we're already in Sam Hain's energy. Sam Hain. It's Sam Hain. That's what I call it. Sam Hain. We need to prepare because a lot is getting ready to change for us for the better. And it's fair for that to happen because many of us have done nothing but kept the balance. And a lot of these people that have accused us of certain things and thought certain things, they really literally was just throwing off the balance even more. Target getting ready to close down, but they boycotted Target. They Target is has lost billions of dollars because of Trump. For supporting Trump on that thing. He hadn't even passed the bill yet, and Target was participating in that whole thing, banning the DEI thing. They boycotted the hell out of Target, and Target is getting ready to get shut down. They've been closing stores. They done lost billions of dollars. And then people don't know that. The zombies don't know that. They just carry on. They just carry on in their confusion and just say, you know what I'm saying? But Target is shutting down. They done lost billions of dollars. Now, if a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate store that's been around for, oh my God, Target been around for ages. Yeah, are they really? Well, all I know is that the world hex Target. They boycotted Target, and because their followers, their corporate people, did what they did. Now they done lost billions of dollars, and now they sitting around looking crazy. Well, I guess so. I guess so. I actually used to like to shop at Target. You know what I'm saying? They have nice stores and nice staff and stuff. But they was saying somebody else was making a video where Target called the police on some disabled woman and claimed that she was stealing something or something. So it's a lot of people that hate Target. So, you know, I'm not a follower, but I'll just shop somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't, because the people are who matters. You know what I'm saying? They do. And because none of these stores, none of these businesses, none of it would be going down Even these billionaires wouldn't even be billionaires if it wasn't for the people. So the common folk and the people that made all these people very rich, and they done said, well, we got our money, and nah, I ain't gonna work that way. It's not gonna work that way. Yeah, they ain't got no food or hair products. Wow, you went over there, they ain't got what? What? Stefan said Family Dollar ain't got no food or hair products. It just I just don't know what to tell people. All I know is that we have been in a lot of deep thought. Because I'm not always in chaos. People assume that just because I'm being stalked every single day and these people are constantly going, that I just be over here like, la, 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 la. No, I'm over here getting downloads. I'm over here getting communication, and spirit is telling me exactly what we need to do. So we gonna make sure that our circles are protected from all this messy ass magic that people are doing. I don't care what they doing it for, and okay. So here's my whole thing about it. The case in point, if it's been in, and I'm not trying to come for the witches. I love y'all know I do, right? If any witches have been cursing Trump, I wouldn't have done it that way, because you got to understand that this is your president. So the best thing to do is not curse him, but kind of maybe sort of, put him under some kind of control. That's when you need, you know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't have done it that way. You know what I'm saying? Because, until he got impeached or whatever, it wouldn't make no sense for you to curse him, because he's your president. And so he's running the whole thing. And then, but, I would say more so bind him, maybe, you know what I'm saying? But, a lot of people, and so it's stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that you're wrong for doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. However, when stuff like that goes down, like a lot of stuff, like because he's been freaking out, he's getting ready to shut down the government. See, when things like that are happening that are beyond your control, all you can do is cover and shield yourself from it. And I'm not saying that I'm going to do harm to any witches for doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, for me, like I said, I'm the neutralizer. So what I do is, if I, when I do my work to protect us from messy magic, when I finish it, because I've already started it. But when I finish it, basically, we're going to be transmuting that energy. Okay. It's got to be neutralized and transmuted, because it's a whole ass mess out there. And then, of course, we have to call all hands on deck. Lilith, especially the energy and essence of Lilith is going to be pivotal during this time, as well as Santa Muerta, because there's way too much chaos going on. And this country is warring with this country, and that country is, and that people. Listen, you just got to know to have your protection and defense put up. And so that's what our circle is doing, because we don't want that to affect us. Now, when the zombies get to acting a fool like what they've been doing, we can't be protected from that. A lot of people like, why don't they just shut up? Listen, let them talk. That's a part of the zombification. They just keep talking and they're not making any sense. Okay, let them talk. My circle is protected. That's all I know. Okay, now I'm just saying. I don't care about what, I really honestly don't care about what nobody's saying. At the end of the day, I don't give a damn. At the end of the day, I do not give a damn about what nobody is saying, especially if they talking about me. because 9 times out of 10 they trying to latch on to me and get under my umbrella because they know my umbrella is very strong and powerful. So, I don't even want to hear it no more. I really honestly don't, because it's gotten out of hand. So we're already doing Sam Hain, you know, and it's a lot out there. A lot of those people that are running around here shucking and jiving, they got a lot of bad coming to them. They do. They got a lot of bad coming to them because they messy. So we're going to be, just to let the Sam Hain group know, we're going to be protecting ourselves from messy magic, in particular, messy black magic. Okay. And scriptures. Okay. Scriptures of, death and destruction and sickness is what we got, is what we got to do. That's all we care about. They can go over there and do whatever. See, you can't be worried about what other people doing. What are you doing? What are you doing? Since I came out here on YouTube, my whole family, my babies have been under attack. I got 2 grandbabies, 4 children. They all been under attack. You see that they still good. They still good. They gonna always be good. And my sun energy is that Cancer and that moon, so I got a good balance going on with that ascending Leo. I'm going to protect my loved ones. And that's not just my children and grand, that's my whole family. I love my family, the Briscoes and the Threadgills and all that just shit. I love them people. I don't care if they family can make a mistake sometime. Now if I catch my family in the middle of a circle of ritual with a hooded goddamn robe on and shit trying to do some death magic on me, I'm gonna be like, ooh, I don't trust you. But as long as they gonna be fucking protected because that's my family. And then of course my clients. So I don't play that mess when it come to my people. Okay. Matter of fact, I got to get off of here anyway because I got some eggshells and I'm getting ready to pound up because it's eggshell. It's casadilla time. It's eggshell powder time because that full moon is coming up. So if you haven't gotten in my Sam Hain circle, you need to do so right now. Really, to be honest with you, I really don't want to add any more people to my Sam Hain circle. But I can because a lot of people need focused work. Because my circles don't make or break me. You know what I'm saying? You can either do or do not. I don't give a damn. A lot of people need focused work. And I'm not about to sit up there and deal with that stuff for free. I'm not gonna deal with it. And I don't care about these charlatans and these stupid people in social media that want to, they do it just for the money. They don't do it for that. They don't do it for the honey. They just do it for the money. They want to compete. They want to say, "Oh, I make more money than you," or "I'm better than you." That's not what no. I listen. I'm tired of that. And you know what? I have cut people off like that. All those people are cut off. I don't have nothing to do with no people like that. I'm disgusted by it. I am. I'm totally disgusted by all that mess. Shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't here to I'm basically, what I'm saying is that I'm not here to compete with nobody. That's one of the and it's so weird because I got people on this website talking to me about sex work. I'm like, honey, I'm not no sex worker. What the hell? I just been really confused about that. Like, what is going on? Like, this is again messy, messy, messy Jesse. Tired of that mess. We're gonna be carving our first pumpkins real soon too. So, that part is getting ready to come. You know what I'm saying? And people be getting scared of that pumpkin match because pumpkins are very, very powerful. You know what I mean? So, anywho, I'm still doing the thing to where you have to pay by MoneyGram or what do they call that other place? MoneyGram or the other one, Western Union. Because it's too many crazy people out here, man. It is too many cray people. The people that I'm dealing with that I know, they are welcome to pay me by PayPal or Cash App for spiritual work. But if I don't know you and you brand new, you got to pay me by either Western Union or MoneyGram. And yes, I still have both of I have two PayPals. And there was an attack done on my PayPal just recently that was decided in my favor. So, uh, anywho, that's pretty much it. If y'all enjoyed the conversation, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe. And for those of you that are going to join us for Sam Hain for non-messy and karma-free manifestation. That's another thing. Oh, I almost forgot about that. People that don't know how to manifest money without manifesting negative karma. Oh my God. And I'm not going to get too far deep off into that. I'm just going to say that there's a lot of people that are doing manifestations, but it's attached to bad karma. I know it's a lot of people out there that don't believe in karma, and that's because they protected themselves from it. However, again, those people would agree with me with saying that as long as you don't come out of pocket and attack innocent people that are doing nothing to harm you, then you wouldn't even have to worry about that. I think mainly and primarily you have to protect yourself from other people's karma these days because some people are purposely, oh, I've got this unresolved issue from when I was 5 years old. Let's put it off on this person. And I told y'all that Azazel, I saw a manifestation of Azazel in the sky. The sky was like blue, and it was the sun was setting and the sky was blue, but you could see his black wings in the sky. I could see that a few days ago. So Azazel is coming to rescue the scapegoats, and that includes babies, women, men, and children, because people are just scapegoating on other people. Oh, you mean to tell me that happened? Send that to so and so. They got these jars and stuff and all this, so that shit gonna explode on them people. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. Stop doing that. I see people doing it all the time. Oh, it's time for me to eat something. All right, y'all. I gotta go. Hit the thumbs up if you smart and intelligent and you know what I'm talking about. But the stupid people, they gonna be like, I don't like her. They thumbs and down already. I don't like her. Well, go away then. Another thing, I'm gonna tell y'all something. One more thing, I posted it on my wall. These crazy people gonna get the hell away from my channels and my social media. Spirit don't want them here at all. They don't want you here. They don't. They no. Go away. We don't even want you watching. You are not a peep. If you're a peep of mine, then you good. You know them little peeps that they have around Easter time. If you one of my peeps, you good. But if you an adversary, you damn sure don't need to be on my channel watching everything that I'm doing. You gotta go. In fact, you better forget about me altogether. Because my memory and my name is going to end up being a curse to you. And if I remember, I think Marie Laveau had to do the same thing. She had Marie Laveau had a lot of enemies. People didn't like her. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why she cursed all them images of her. She cursed all that stuff. Y'all need to be like, y'all better take heed. There's some stupid people in this world. Get off, I don't want the adversaries on my channel. I don't. And no, you're not gonna be over here because I'm getting ready to get new subscribers and stuff and new people following me. No, you're not gonna bring your parasitic butt over here and feed off of nothing. No, you're not. You're gonna be swallowing a whole bunch of razor blades and glass. You come over here trying to feed off of somebody. It's time for them to get gizzard, as my mother used to say, get gizzard. Anyway, to the rest of y'all that I love you guys. Have a happy moon day. And I'll be seeing y'all. Okay. All right. Blessings to y'all. Bye bye.